Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Erica.
M.
Hey.
Yeah. Hola.
Hola. Welcome to the
Soul Flow.
We started this video and we're not sure if we're going to mesh the first part or if we're just going to start it again.
So it could be funky, comedina,
Yes.
or not. Who knows?
Who knows? Today, we would like to talk and
Right now.
chat and discuss and dissect change.
Change.
Yeah.
Dissect change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like an anatomy lab.
Oh, that sounds so exciting. Gross. I actually did really enjoy anatomy.
Yeah.
That was one of the sciences I really liked. The dissection,
Not so much.
Yeah, I didn't mind it as much.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
okay. I
looks
didn't
like-
like wearing goggles. Those were
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
If I could have worn my
If
rose-colored
the rose-colored glasses were
it
allowed.
would have been super fine.
Yeah.
Or maybe rose-colored goggles.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
Actually.
I could make it much cooler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, change.
Change.
Okay.
It's inevitable. I mean, you hear all the platitudes about it.
The only constant.
Is change.
How comforting.
People don't change.
People always change.
Change is hard. I'm still going with that.
Oh, I was like, that's annoying. It's so annoying when
I
people
know.
say people don't change, because people do change.
Okay. Example. What was your life like 7 months ago?
It's been 7 months.
That was an example. That was a question.
Wait.
Question.
It's been 7 months.
Something like that. I think
Wow.
we're in month 9 of this year, and it
What's
started
time?
about
What's time
February.
anyway? We made it up.
We did. We have. We
So-
are. True.
Yes.
It's an illusion.
And yes, something happened in our life, in this era, in this age, super quickly.
Yeah.
People
Changed.
made their
Drastically.
their lifestyle,
Who they hang out with.
their work,
Their work.
their family,
Their food.
their community, their activity. All, I mean, I guess that's all kind of
Yeah.
the way that you were, what you did, how you be,
How you be in the
changed
world.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And so, Em is going to talk to us a little bit about integration
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a little.
I'm gonna play with what I'm playing with
Yeah.
integration,
Okay.
because someone recently mentioned integration, and I was like, what the heck? Like, what does that even mean? And then it came up for me. I was like, oh right, like we are going to be integrating out of this big shift that happened so quickly, right? For some of us, it was a great pause. For
Right.
some of us, we were busier. For some of us, we went back and forth and it was in between. But as these changes are happening, you have the choice to integrate.
Right.
So integration, I guess I'll start with a story
Okay.
about what I've been experiencing.
Okay.
Sometimes that it's helpful for me to explain it from like my point of view. And then I also have a lens of the collective, like outside of my world that maybe we'll get to, maybe we won't. But what I'm playing with is I've been having these like physical symptoms or experiences or feelings that one, I at first was like, ew, these are so uncomfortable, and ew, these are familiar, and that I thought I'd gotten over these.
What
or
are
I'd
some of the
gotten
symptoms?
through
Because I'm sure
these.
that
Yeah.
there are more.
So for me, sometimes it can come up in the middle of the night, generally around 3 in the morning, which, if you've heard about the veil, the time the veil is thin, the doorway between the spirit world and our physical three, anyways, that's a whole nother spiel. I'll wake up with like a racing heart and a racing mind, right? So what I'm remembering is like there's some sort of disintegration maybe, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where my body is like needing to balance and flow and get the energy going. And then I realized, oh wow, like it also hurts at the base of my spine. So I have the base of my spine hurting, my heart racing, my head racing, and my body just is like calling in this movement, you know, and this integration of all these parts in my body, right? Like so the base of you is your root chakra, right? So I have these fears about security that are coming up from that I thought were gone, right? Like money fears or relationship fears, or like, am I gonna have a house over my head, which is ridiculous, right? Like
ridiculous.
And like things that like, am I gonna be homeless? Which I'm like, what? What? You know? What? Heart stuff coming up, and then me having flashbacks to like I have been on medicines that are supposed to be hard on my heart, and like remembering that, and like those tests, and like, you know, all this kind of stuff. And then also,
is that why you get up when you have these symptoms and try to physically move your body?
So what was amazing is I've been trying to remember, okay, what do I do? What have I done in the past? What's worked, right? Going outside and walking and showing my body like, hey, it's dark out. It means it's time to sleep. Which is
circadian rhythm.
Yeah. For me, sometimes it's writing.
Yeah.
To just get out of my mind and just get the thoughts on paper so that they're gone, they're processed or whatever. And then most recently, someone who, actually my manual therapist, which she's kind of like a chiropractor massage mix. Anyways, he said to me, and he's worked with me for a long time, so he knows my history. And he said, "What's going on?" And I said, "Well, my butt hurts." And he's like, "You and your butt." And I was like,
I've been working on your
he
butt
said,
for
so
years.
is it, you know, and I started to think about like trauma that I'd had to that area. Like I'd fallen, blah, blah, and I was like, no, it's like it's like when I fell on the ice when I was a kid. And I was like, oh, wow, this is like old stuff coming up.
Yeah.
And he said to me, you know, when you get up at 3 in the morning, it could be really helpful to do yoga.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, Yogi Bijan, who is really big in the Kundalini world. There's a reason he got his people up at 3 in the morning and told them to practice.
Yogi Bhajan.
Bijan? Not Bijan. Bijan?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, your root chakra, which is fear-based, is at the base of your spine, and Kundalini is a practice that really helps you to eradicate your ego.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Helps
There's an
you,
actual exercise.
helps you to really like move the snaky, fear-based energy that you have at the root of at the base of your spine. So, anyways, this is a really long story.
No, it's a good story. I'm sure a lot of people can.
And so it was something for me to remember, like when I wake up in the middle of the night, that I have tools, and laying in bed may not be the answer, right? It's okay to find some way to move the energy outside of here. You know, breathe, drink water, move. There's all sorts of, and you know, and if it's not working, keep trying other stuff. Or, and really that's one of the things, like ask your intuition, right? Ask your inner voice.
Yeah.
Breathe, breathe, breathe. Take long exhales and say, like, do I need a cup of tea? Do I need to get in child's pose? Do I need to, you know,
Do some breathing exercises. Do
sit
I need
in a
to
chair
go into my car?
outside of my bed, you
Yeah.
know? So just not in your bed, you know, spinning and spinning and spinning, like what, yeah.
Yeah. And you have the answers within you always. So if you hear a little voice that says, go outside and run up and down the driveway, then just listen to it and see what happens.
Yeah. You might hear something really fun.
Yeah.
Like get in my car, turn on Madonna, and scream.
Scream! Yeah.
That's me trying
Not
to
that
vogue.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Strike a pose. So speaking about integration a little bit more, so that is how people can integrate.
Yeah.
Right? What you're explaining
Yes.
is how people can integrate. Okay.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
guess noticing that maybe collectively we're needing to remember to do that.
Yeah. You know,
I don't know if needing, but it's an opportunity. You know, some of us, it seems like maybe have, like, I just noticed out in the world, it's a lot busier now.
yeah.
And,
That may cause a little bit of dissonance
yeah.
because we've had this great pause, even if it was
Some
just,
people have, and then some people are just needing to integrate because they haven't paused.
or they've paused, but it still wasn't as busy as it is now, right? Or they didn't pause, they
Mhm.
worked, they
Yeah,
went to,
right, yeah.
you know, they worked at the grocery store, at the hospital, or whatever. But there weren't many people going out.
Right. And now there's more people. There's more, like for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's traffic.
Yeah.
That's not, and it's not, I want to create the reality I want to create.
Right.
And it's just different for my nervous system to be outside in a world where
Right.
there's more cars. I have
Right.
to pay attention. I mean, this is the little things that you're not as used to, where
Right.
it's like the construction. Oh, I need to be watching for everyone. And then people who are working on sites, they have masks on. They're tired. They haven't gotten a break. And so, like, making sure that I'm aware of that
Yeah.
when I'm negotiating my car. I mean,
Right.
it's all this stuff that we can get overwhelmed by.
Right.
Not simply overwhelmed, and we don't necessarily, yeah.
We have tools available to us. We just have to remember them, and we have to tap into our inner voice to maybe receive them and to hear them.
What works for you, whether it's
Whatever.
listening to calming music in the car,
Yeah.
Whether it's breathing, whether it's skipping, whether it's
Yeah.
whatever your little heart desires.
Yeah.
Because it'll be different for everyone, right?
It will be. And if you have any resistance that this time was monumental and continues to be monumental, like if a part of you is just like, oh, this is just a passing thing. It's just a phase of life. Everything will go back to the way it was.
It will go back to normal.
There is no
What the F is normal anyway?
Yeah, and why would, so when I talk, something came in, integration.
Yeah.
I talked to Dr. Dan Engel, who is a medical physician
Yeah.
who works with brain injury, traumatic brain injury, depression, and plant medicine, ayahuasca. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that word on this Soul Flow, but
I think.
it's plant medicine. It works for people. And he and I talked about, so I went on a 500-mile pilgrimage through Spain, the Camino de Santiago. And when I came back, I had to integrate.
Yeah. Sure.
Which sounds silly, right? Like, I go and walk for 32 days in nature, and then I have to come back, and it should be easy to just,
Shit on yourself, girl.
I know. Bing. Okay. And so we talked about, like,
Speaking
how there needs to be an integration clinic, and maybe we can develop a space for integration. And I was like, honestly, Dan, I think that's called life.
Life is the new school.
Life is the new school. It's life school. Like, we just,
So I can relate in that I went on a Vipassana retreat for 10 days.
oh yeah.
Which, if
Same.
you're not familiar with, is a 10-day silent retreat. It's pretty strict. Like, you're not supposed to dance right, blah, blah, blah. There's like hours and hours and hours and hours of meditation. You're not supposed to make eye contact. I mean, it's very sensory deprived, I guess is what you could consider it. And then I came back, and there was so much amazingness. Like, I remember I was writing writing reports at work, and it was like boom, 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 and there was so much that I was cleaner with, if that makes sense. Like I could say more efficient, or like I just knew how to respond with more ease. And it was also like, I mean, I remember getting in a car and talking to people and being like, I haven't talked to anybody for 10 days.
Yeah.
You know, and like, and I also remember looking at the tree and being like, wow, those leaves, they're so amazing. Everything's so lush.
Colors are so vibrant.
But like, you know, I went
Birds.
from 10 days in like outside of Joshua Tree
Yeah.
to back to an office as a psychologist, like writing reports. And in some ways it was so amazing. And in other ways I was like, which is, you know,
Shock.
yeah.
There's a part of our nervous system that experiences shock.
Yeah. So just, that's another,
I have allergies
they're gone.
in
Poof.
Austin.
Mine are rocking.
So
And
this
they're gonna
turned
be
out
gone right now.
not to be about change.
This
Actually
turned out to be
about
about integration. So we'll be back to you about change
In another
soon.
episode.
In another episode with Em and Erica. On the solo.
Okay, so wrap it up.
Yes, yes,
Integration.
yes.
We invite you, we encourage, we
Yeah.
to
I love
just like
invitations and encouragements.
tap in to see what feels good during this time. Because if it doesn't align to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and to have this monkey mind just go and to lose sleep, there are things that you can do. And Em gave you lots of beautiful examples, and I'm sure you can think of, your intuition can tell you 100 more. But yeah, you have tools and you have support available at all times.
And you're
Surrounding.
always safe.
And you're always
We're
safe.
always safe.
We're
We're
always
always
safe.
loved.
Yeah, this is the old mind in the spine, in that lower. This is the old brain, that reptilian brain that wants to get you out of danger and safe.
Yeah. You're
You
safe.
are.
You're safe. You're safe. You're
you're
loved.
loved,
You're
you're
safe.
allowed.
Good wrap up, by the way. You're what?
Allowed.
Allowed. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
We love you.
Love you. Higher. Okay. Ciao.